Next, you're going to add value in the eyes in your portrait. So for this one, I'm picking green and I'm choosing two different values of that green to show the changes within this eye. Now, I'm going to tell you about some general stuff, and sometimes if your eyes are a little bit dark, you might need to go with some of the generalizations. So first, I'm going to take a look overall in my eye, and I'm looking for where are some of the darkest areas. So on mine, and probably yours, your pupil is going to be one of the darkest areas. However, be very careful because one of the lightest areas also typically goes somewhere near or inside part of the pupil, and that's your highlight. So as you take a look at my picture, you can see that there's that highlight there. Next, I'm going to get another dark area, which is typically the rim of the iris, the colored part of the eye. Okay, and then along the iris, it's almost like spokes of a bicycle or sun rays that go outward. So you're getting a little bit of a texture into this area as well. Sometimes I even go over it more than one color so that you start to see that texture a little bit better in the piece. Next, I'm starting to look at the eyelid. This is an area that tends to be a little bit darker. It almost looks like a line, but it does tend to have a little bit thicker of an area than a line. So especially where there's lots of eyelashes, the top and the outer edge of that eye, we can sometimes see that. And then for right now, I'm going to maybe either skip or add, depending on what color I'm planning on making the skin tone. But I do have the crease above the eye that's typically a bit darker overall, so I'm going to add a little bit of value on there. The bottom edge of the eye is a little bit lighter, but it is still darker than the eyeball itself. And I see a little bit of the bottom edge of the eyelid on this eye in my picture, and it gets a little bit darker on the outside edge. The last thing I'm going to add is the edges of the eyeball. So this is close to the tear duct and then the opposite end, and it's a little bit of a curve, and I'm going to start pressing down medium, and then I'm going to lighten as I go onto the eyeball. That's what's going to start to make that optical illusion that makes it start to look like it's a little bit more rounded. And then I'm looking in my piece here, and I do see a little bit of value added into that tear duct area. So I want to go ahead and add just that little bit into the overall tear duct area. So I'm going to hold this a little closer so you can see it a little better. And again, you can see the same thing on my example that I had done for the other class. So take a look again. I'm getting those value ranges from lights to mediums to dark values, and then I'm going to be adding that with both eyes.